so back, ready to talk about these WNBA historical past 2 nights. Told y'all I was going to get into that back-to-back action, so let's get to it. Starting off with Thursday night, June 26th, Los Angeles Sparks took on the Indiana Fever, and that ended in a 10-point win for the Sparks. Caitlin Clark was out with a groin injury, unfortunately, so she did sit out. But the rest of her team did kind of do pretty good that night. You had a double-double from Leah Boston, 10 and 12. Kelsey Mitchell scored 20. We already know Kelsey giving you 20 pieces every game or more. So it's almost like, without Caitlin Clark, they do still kind of have some successes, which we'll get into because they had on this back-to-back doubleheaders, they actually played 2 of these games. So we'll talk more about the second one in a little bit. But, a lot of people surprised that the Sparks haven't really quite, no pun intended, found their spark this season. They're sitting at 5-11, but they did pull away with the win in this one. I want to say, too, specifically, I'm very interested to see. I guess Cameron Brink is day-to-day. I've been, trying to keep up with that. They say she's back, doing conditioning and things like that, but she still has yet to play this season. I'm very interested to see when she comes back and how well they perform when she does, because I think that is a big key missing piece for their team. But as far as what the Sparks were able to pull off that night, the winning team. So you got Azura Stevens, 23, 7 rebounds. Kelsey Plum, 21 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. De'Erica Hamby, 14 points. Rickea Jackson, 14 points. So, everybody kind of did their thing, from their starting lineup. So they still, holding it down in the midst or in the absence of Cameron Brink. Obviously she went down last year, so they've been, obviously having to hold it down. But again, they're sitting at 5-11, so I'm curious to see can they turn that around, And if, Cameron Brink comes back, I'm hoping the timetable, I haven't heard a for sure one, but I'm hoping, maybe like mid-July, late July, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, second game that night was actually I just had it pulled up. It was the Mystics and the Aces, but let me get the box score for you all. The Aces did lose. I was shocked by that. I know the Mystics have been pretty good this season, don't get me wrong. But, A'ja Wilson just coming off that historic, that's what I'm telling you, these last few days been historic. She was fastest to get to 5,000 points. That's, man, I salute her. She at the top of her game per usual. But, the Aces are having some struggles this season. What is going on with my laptop here? They don't want to cooperate, but that's all right. We're going to get into it. So the Mystics pulled away 94, Aces 83. Aces are still just 7 and 8, not perfect, not great, but they still can be contenders. Don't get it wrong. Like, the season's still early. Still got a couple more months of basketball to be played, so I'm not really too worried about the Aces when they lose as of right now. So that's all right. But as far as the Mystics, Sonia Centrone, she also, earlier this week had that overtime, game where she showed out and beat that Fever. But that was earlier this week. So, yeah, the Mystics are killing it. Don't get me wrong. They sitting at 8-8, so they 500 ready to take off and go above. So, Sonia Citrone, 21 points. Kiki had 12, USC legend. Suggs Sutton, 17. So, everybody balled out for the most part again on their starting lineup as well. And as far as what the Aces achieved on that box score, A'ja Wilson easily, 22 points, 5 rebounds. Jewel Lloyd, 11 points, 4 rebounds. Chelsea Gray, 13 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds. So, everyone held it down. But I will say, I think what the Aces need is someone that can also maybe kind of put up them higher double digits. Like if A'ja Wilson going to be scoring 20, 30 here and there, and somebody else can kind of just, kind of like be right behind her in that, or if they all just click, you know what I'm saying? And I will say, it looks like they got out-rebounded. Nobody had double digits at rebounds, whereas Shakira Austin, center for the Mystics, she had 13. So that's always going to kill you a little bit in the end. Kiki had 9 rebounds. I'm sorry if I ain't even mentioned that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't be getting out-rebounded expecting to win. So Aces got a little bit of work to do. But, again, I'm not worried about them. A'ja Wilson, again, tipped my hat off. Had an amazing game that I caught last weekend. I'm sure y'all might have saw the review if y'all tuning in. But, yeah, that 5,000, fastest to get 5,000 points, that ain't nothing to scoff at, man. So shout out to A'ja Wilson. Keep your head held high for sure. And then we got let's talk about that Friday night special, man. Starting with the Dallas Wings and the Indiana Fever. They played at American Airlines. For those of y'all that don't know, that's where the Dallas Mavericks play. Everybody was in attendance. Kyrie Irving, whole bunch of Dallas legends. Cheryl Cooper was there. It was crazy, man. Like, if y'all didn't see that one, I kind of feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't go. I ain't gonna say it didn't go in my favor again. I'm not a fan, but I did want to see, especially again. So we did not have Caitlin Clark playing, as I just said I was going to get into. So Caitlin Clark had a groin injury. She sat out this game as well. That was a bummer. I've told y'all before in past videos, I'm from Texas, so I actually originally, like, they announced this game way in advance, like, maybe like, it was like early, top of the year almost, like they already had this game on lock and said it was going to be at the American Airlines Center. I really wanted to go to this. I really wanted to be there for that. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason, whatever. Caitlin Clark didn't even end up playing. It's supposed to be the big Caitlin Clark versus Paige Buckets, but they will be meeting each other again. So in about a month or so, don't quote me, but that should be action-packed as well. So I'm not too worried that we didn't get to see the Paige versus Caitlin Clark matchup, because it's coming still soon. And you got all type of other scenarios that could happen, But yeah, speaking on that game specifically, man, it was crazy. The Fever ended up pulling it off after coming off that loss, like I said, against the Los Angeles Sparks previous night. So that was a big, morale booster for them, I'm sure. They, like I said, had that tough road schedule last week. So, they've been having some crazy games to kind of pull through. Caitlin Clark not being available, that's, I'm sure something they miss. But that team, as long as Kelsey Mitchell doing what she do, is going to be okay. I ain't going to lie to y'all, man. Like, if we just being honest, so getting into these box scores on that game, Kelsey Mitchell, man, 32 points. I'm telling you. Looked like she had 6 rebounds, 7 assists. She was 4-6 from the 3. She can't miss, man. Like, 4-6 from the 3 that's crazy numbers. Like, she really out there balling, man. And, they just recently picked up Ari McDonald. She scored 13. Leah Boston came clutch this time, 21. Looked like she had 6 rebounds. I'm sorry, I said Kelsey Mitchell had 6 rebounds. No, she only had 3. My fault. Natasha Howard hooped 13 rebounds, 15 points, getting that double-double action. So if they keep hooping like that, man, when Caitlin Clark do get ready, I haven't heard no timetable on it, but I'm sure she'll be back soon. Groin injury, I've never known to take anybody off too long. Man, they gonna be nice. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Like, and I think I'm not gonna get too into this, but we tend to pay attention to the wrong players. Or I won't even say we. Certain individuals play into and gas in the wrong players on the Indiana Fever. I'm not taking away nothing from Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull, but at the end of the day, they not the ones that are on that floor running the show when Caitlin is out. So we need to just go ahead and admit it's Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey, and Natasha, man. They doing their thing out there. Like, you could have not even played Sophie Cunningham, and the game would have probably went the same way. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not here to knock nobody down. I'm not here to tear nobody down. I just, when it comes to the media, they kind of focusing on the others, and I'm not quite understanding that. Maybe I do understand it, but again, I'm not really going to get into all that. It was a great game. Let's keep talking about it, though. Dallas Wings, how did they do? Of course, Paige Buckets showed out. I want to get into it, too, because the game started out very bad for the Dallas Wings. Man, I'm talking about, I did just come in towards the tail end of the first quarter, let me be honest. It wasn't looking good. If I remember correctly, at one point it was 31-11 with Indiana Fever up. I just knew Dallas wasn't going to be able to catch back up. Man, that second quarter, Paige started getting in the paint. Everything started clicking. I'm talking about, man, so she ended up with 27 buckets, 6 assists, and, man, it was just crazy. But Melissa Smith had 10 rebounds. It's a common, said thing. I hate to agree with the masses. Usually I wish I had a different take, but Paige needs help. So let me keep getting into it. She did hit that buzzer beater at the end of the half. That sent them into the second half with a lot of morale and, momentum. But you kind of knew that maybe they weren't going to be able to come back all the way. Actually, come back all the way and still win. They did actually end up taking the lead at some point in the game in the second half, which was crazy. Like I said, they was down 20. I think more than that at one point. It was really crazy to see. I'm going to be honest. Like, this was a classic. It really was a classic, despite how it went down. Like I said, I'm from Texas and stuff, so y'all might be thinking I'm just speaking on bias behalf of the Dallas Wings. But it was crazy to watch. It really was. It's like, I've been following Paige since UConn. It just is crazy how it worked out that she even came out here. But, man, she does need help, though. Like, nobody else even had Arik did have 15 points. But I'm looking at, only Nalissa Smith had 10 rebounds. Lee Rue, who they just, acquired, I'm going to give her a pass a little bit because she, might be getting used to the system and getting into the scope of things still. So she's only been like a couple games in. But I'm expecting with her height and size advantage, she needs to get more rebounds. And she only pulled away with a 3 total. I'm not impressed by that. We need to see some more assists on this team, not just Paige herself. But again, you got to score for an assist to even happen. So Paige does need help, unfortunately to say, because she's a great player. But it's just her rookie season. We saw the same thing with Caitlin Clark. Great player, just trying to do the most she can to help her team win. But now they finally clicking. That chemistry is getting up and running on that second season for the Indiana Fever, as I just explained. So, it was great to see these two teams match up. But I do say it sucked to have Caitlin not playing. So I will be really, really looking forward to the next game that they meet up with each other. Let's get into the game I really want to talk about. I know I keep referencing my old videos. Y'all should go check them out, man, because what I be saying is it be right. Like, so Phoenix Mercury versus the reigning champs New York Liberty. It was crazy. I'm talking about, I literally watched history in the making. Do you hear me? I got love for the New York Liberty. Watched them make first of the Aces last season in that finals campaign. They got torched. The Phoenix Mercury, I told y'all in that last video, looking like a team that can go to the finals and replace somebody. I don't know if it'll be the Aces. I don't know if it'll be the Liberty. Maybe neither one of those teams go. Like I just said, the Aces kind of got some struggles they need to work on. Liberty, they sitting at 11-4. They started off hot. Good win streak. Kind of taking a little bit of a downturn, but that's okay. When you 11-4, like they sit in the top right now. They ain't there, but the Phoenix Mercury are 12-4. They ended up winning the game 106-91. A lot of people gonna say or feel how they feel when I say this. It felt like I was watching an NBA game, man. First off, a lot of teams don't really even get to scoring 100 whenever we talking about the WNBA. Let's be for real. Like 100 points is a major feat for WNBA teams, like for us to witness. And it's like, man, they come close a lot, but you'll see games into like 90, 80, whatever. But, dude, it was just absolutely nuts just to see how great this Phoenix Mercury team was clicking. Let me really get into it. I'm not going to hold y'all forever, but I just really wanted to cap it off. So this was the last game of the doubleheaders. I just talked about the previous 3. This was the best one of the 4, if you ask me. Like I said, I didn't get to see the 2 the previous night, but there's no way you can top this historical night from the Phoenix Mercury. So they had a lot of rest in between the last games. So they played the Chicago Sky. They shot all them threes, made that had that historical game. I believe they made 18 that game. And then they followed it up, though. Like, okay, so yeah. I think they had 19 last week, and they had 18 last night. Maddie Whitcomb shooting threes, crazy. She looking like Steph Curry out there. I'm telling y'all, this looked like an NBA game. I just told y'all the last weekend. And she looked like she can't even. I didn't even know she missed no 3-pointers. But I think she only missed like a couple. Field goal percentage, highest, whatever on the 3-point from beyond the arc. I don't even know, like, do she even go in the paint? Like, it didn't even seem like it. Just felt like every time she got the ball, I'm talking about Alyssa Thomas getting all these assists. Satu Sabali was hitting from the three. It was crazy. I really don't know if I seen no team had no chemistry like that. And it's like Satu Sabali, who comes from the Dallas Wings, Matty Whitcomb, who come from playing overseas and on a couple of different teams over the past few years in the WNBA, seem to be the missing pieces for this Phoenix Mercury team. So salute to whoever put this team to get this roster together over the offseason. This is looking like a championship team, man. I'm telling y'all, and I'm standing on it. If they don't go, I'll be shocked. Like, it's going to take a real tough opponent, man. And they really clicking, and these is veterans that's on this team just balling and hooping and just doing the most. I'm talking about, I'm not going to hold y'all forever. We're going to cap it off, but Satu Sabali last night specifically, man, that stat line was nuts. I just have to see, like, it was 25 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Alyssa Thomas, just 1 rebound short of a triple-double, 17 points, 15 assists, 9 rebounds. Matty Whitcomb ended up with, I don't have her field goal percentage pulled up, so I don't know exactly how many threes she made herself. She had 15 points. I feel like she might have been forward. Man, look, she might have been 4 or 5 if I remember correctly. I think she was 4 or 5. But I'm going to wrap it up, man. Phoenix Mercury ended up beating the New York Liberty. Again, you know, a team that is the reigning champs. It just was beyond unbelievable to witness. They held Breanna Stewart to only 17 points. Nobody, like, again, I was just speaking on the rebounding, you know. Nobody had double digits in rebounds. And they got the, you know, Naira Sabali holding it down, Satu's sister. They was at it, you know, in a head-to-head matchup. She had 16 points, 6 rebounds. But what I will say, it's a lot going on, you know, with the league and people, you know, missing games right now. So Jonquel Jones is out. That's a big key factor for their team, man. She would have had a lot of rebounds last night, more than likely, and that would have been a pivotal difference in the game. But she unfortunately is out with injury. But I'm in awe, man. This WNBA is looking real good this season. These last 2 nights alone were historical. There were some other games. I'll just give y'all the scores to those. Again, I didn't catch those. They weren't televised, unfortunately. But I know the Chicago Sky played the Valkyries. They lost. I think that one was back and forth, if I'm not mistaken, and they was really hanging in there. You know, we have our criticisms of the Chicago Sky. You got to remember they without Camila Cardoso right now, but they came within 5 points of the Valkyries, only losing 78-83. Seattle Storm showed out and beat up on the Connecticut Suns, 97-81, and the Minnesota Lynx and the Atlanta Dream actually did go to overtime. I do recall checking in the box score of that while I was watching this Fever and the Wings, and the Lynx ended up pulling away though in the end, 96-92. Not gonna really break those down too much because I didn't really even watch them. Didn't get the chance to watch them because they decided to televise the Indiana Fever versus the Wings, of course, and the Phoenix Mercury versus the New York Liberty, of course. You know, the teams with the 2 best records. But again, I'm gonna just end it by saying the Phoenix Mercury got them something right now with this roster, and it's ugly for anybody that faces them in these next few games because they really clicking right now. Like, I anticipate a win streak. I really do. I'll be shocked if somebody shuts them down. Because how can you stop them? You got so many weapons on there. Right now, we seeing teams with, you know, 1 or 2 weapons. I feel like this whole starting lineup over there is going crazy. So, shout out to the girl, Alyssa Thomas, man. Y'all killing it out there in Phoenix. I expect to see y'all go real far this season. But that's all we got today, man. Pushing Hardline. I'll be back at y'all on the next action-packed WNBA weekend for sure. Definitely. Keep tuning in. Thank y'all.